Audio Jungle.
So is it true that you're a part of the treasure war?
It all started with the day Troy fell.
Do you mind telling us?
Well, of course. Powerful Troy met its doom the day that we thought the Achaean army had actually left and given up on the war. Unfortunately enough for us, they had just left their ships outside the island of Tenedos, where we couldn't see them, and they had given us a huge wooden horse as an offering to the goddess Minerva. Aeneid had shouted that it would be a good idea to bring the Trojan horse inside the walls of Troy, while wise Laocoon advised us not to ever underestimate the cleverness of Ulysses. He threw a spear at the horse and it made no impact, but if it had, Troy might still be here today.
Why was the horse brought into Troy?
No one believed Laocoon. For Sinon, a Greek who was captured as planned by our foul enemies, gained confidence and convinced the majority that the horse was just an offering to the goddess Minerva, when truly all of their warriors were hidden inside. And to make matters worse, as Laocoon and his two sons were sacrificing a bull to the altar, sea serpents slithered out and murdered both of them. And as they were done killing Laocoon, they slithered up to the altar of Minerva and convinced everyone that the killing of Laocoon was a punishment for not believing. So we brought the horse inside the walls of Troy, and just as night fell and the joyous, drunk Trojans fell asleep, the Greeks came out and attacked.
Terrible. And how was it that you came to join the fight?
Hector, our prince, came to me in a dream. He was bloody, and the sight still terrorizes my heart. He advised me to flee from the burning town of Troy and to roam the seas, and found my own walls. I woke up to the dreadful cries of my Trojans, and I witnessed Troy burning down. I couldn't help but arm and fight the motherland. And I noticed as I was roaming the halls that there were more and more Trojans coming to stand behind me. I emphasized that I needed to remain in this fight, even though our death was almost certain.
Well, why didn't you just run away?
I was sworn to defend my city, and I would prefer to be fighting and die than to be known as a coward. So on we went through the way of Priam, but alas, I was the only one to survive this journey, as my others that were following me had died in battle, something that I envy of them. The wicked son of Achilles, Pyrrhus, had sneakily made his way up to the altar of Priam, where our queen Hecuba and her daughters were huddled. Just before he reached the altar, he took the life of Priam's son Pylades.
Well, why did Priam just kill Pyrrhus?
Oh, he wanted to, but Pyrrhus was just too strong. He grabbed our noble king by the hair and dragged him through his own son's blood before striking him down. I was filled with anger and rage, and I wanted to kill the one that was responsible for this, the Princess Helen. I knew that this was an unjust thing to do, and I probably would have gone through with it if it weren't for my own mother, Venus, coming to me and telling me to keep in mind one thing that really matters: my family. So she cleared my mind of my blinding hatred. I made haste, and I got my family before it was too late. At first my father didn't want to go, but eventually he agreed to leave.
Well, what made him change his mind?
The great god Jupiter sent a sign warning us of our fate. My father was stunned by this omen, and he asked Jupiter to send another omen. Jupiter sent a shooting star across the sky, and we quickly left. I carried my father on my shoulders, my son's hand in my own, and my wife Carissa following us. Unfortunately enough, I took a few wrong turns on the way to our safe place and lost my wife. When we got there, I went back to try and find her, but to my dismay, I couldn't find her in an alive form. She came to me later as a spirit and told me that her death was so much better than being captured, and that I should just move on to start a great nation. I trusted her, and with a heavy heart, we continued on.